6,800 miles is a long distance to travel, especially when you're riding with baggage you've been holding on to for decades.
It's the most amazing thing that I have done in 20 years. I'm a Desert Storm veteran. I'm a combat veteran from a field artillery unit in the United States Army.
Jayce Elliston, who owns Paisano's Pizza Kitchen in Phoenix, is one of thousands of Run for the Wall riders who journeyed from LA to Washington, D.C. and back.
You know, starting off from LA, riding into Phoenix, it's my hometown, coming back here, just seeing the people on the overpass. When we came into Buckeye, my first experience really of being thanked for being in a war. As I've dealt with this PTSD thing, you know, with firefighters up there and American flags across the whole thing, it was amazing.
This mission began 23 years ago as a way to remember our Vietnam veterans, and now the journey continues as a way to honor all who have served or are serving.
It's a 10-day mission to get the word out about those soldiers that were killed in action, they're still missing in action, and that were prisoner of wars, and the things that they had to go through. Every morning we would hear a story about a soldier that is still now currently missing in action.
And for veterans with post-traumatic stress disorder like Jayce, the longer you travel, the lighter your load.
I repressed it, okay? And I ended up being like one of the many, many thousands and millions of guys out there, and I suffer from PTSD. Some friends of mine in a little support group suggested I go on this run and that it would change my life. It did. You're with your comrades, you're on this motorcycle ride of 300, 400, 500 guys riding side by side, where you're literally, you know, putting your life on the line out there with them again. The camaraderie and trust that you used to have with these guys, and it's not just combat veterans, and it's not just veterans, it's you know, civilians, brothers of guys that have fought in wars, you know, civilians that have no family members that are in war. You know, to see them crying on a day-to-day basis about how blessed they are just to be an American.
For 11 days, the journeyman ventured across the U.S., stopping at VA hospitals, cemeteries, war memorials, and schools.
You're sitting down and having lunch with these little kids, and they're coming up and thanking you. And I remember the little card that I got from one of the boys, a third grader, said, "Thank you for going through all that crap to save our country."
After reaching the Vietnam National Memorial in Washington, D.C., the riders are greeted by thousands of well-wishers as they parade the streets on Memorial Day. But one Marine stands out in the crowd.
But you go over that bridge, first thing you see, coming around the corner, you see Tim. I had the incredible honor and luck and spending the first night with him. He went across the country with us this year, Run for the Wall. And this guy, this Marine, for I believe 13 years now, has stood at attention with saluting every motorcycle and rolling thunder that rolls past him. 400 to 600 to 700,000 bikes every year do this, so you're talking him standing there for 5 or 6 or 7 hours at attention, refusing water, refusing anything from anybody, just to show his respect to the KIA, MIA, POW issue. I'm a U.S. Army veteran, and I'm proud of it now.